700th day of the war in Gaza. The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry reports the death toll is now over 64,000, and the United Nations Commissioner for Refugees says over 90,000 people have been displaced in just over the last month. Meanwhile, a protest organized by hostage families is set to take place in Tel Aviv later today. Demonstrators are calling for an end to the war and the return of the remaining 48 hostages. All of this as the IDF now says it controls 40% of Gaza City. Video shows strikes in a high-rise there that Israeli officials claim belonged to Hamas. The building management denies those claims, saying it has been under strict supervision and only allows displaced civilians. ABC's Patrick Reevell has more on that. So, Patrick, what's the latest on Israel's ground offensive in Gaza City and this strike on the high-rise?
Hi, Dan. Yeah, Israel's defense minister today posted on X saying that the gates of hell will be opened onto Gaza as this offensive goes ahead. And then to illustrate his point, he posted a video of this strike that you've been talking about, which brought down a multi-story building, at least 2 missiles leveling the building. The building was located in a group of tents where tens of thousands of people who've already been displaced have been sheltering. As you say, Israel saying that it belonged to Hamas, but the housing association in the area saying that it had been home to displaced people. Israel issuing evacuation orders there and ordering generally Palestinians to flee Gaza City as it continues to move ahead with this ground operation. The first phase of it has already begun, but there are 1 million people inside Gaza City right now. Most of them so far have refused to flee, but as bombing has intensified over the last few days, thousands of people have begun starting to have to move again just because they cannot stay in those areas where these bombardments are occurring. But clearly the situation there becoming more and more dangerous for people, Diane.
Now, the Hamas-run health ministry says 3 more people starved to death in the past 24 hours. How dire is the humanitarian situation?
Yeah, Dan, I mean, very, very dire. As you say, 3 more people, according to Gaza health authorities, died of malnutrition and starvation overnight. That brings the total since the start of the war to 376, including 137 children. Now, in mid-August, the IPC, this UN-backed group of experts that monitors global hunger, declared that famine had officially been confirmed in Gaza. They say that over 500,000 people are already in famine conditions. And they say that in the next 2 weeks or so, they expect that to become 600,000. Over 1 million people are in the category below that, which is extreme hunger and food insecurity, where people are basically on the verge of famine. So clearly the situation continuing to deteriorate there. Most aid agencies say nowhere near enough food has been let in by Israel to alleviate the crisis. And obviously this new offensive into Gaza City, where 1 million people are currently living and will be forced to move south, will only exacerbate and create what is already an unimaginable situation and make it even worse, Diane.
All right, Patrick Reevell, thank you.
Israeli forces set their sights
Okay, living here.
Good morning. This is Morning Sky. I'm your host, Sky. Israel's doing the damn thing. They're bombing 15-story buildings that they claim may have been, governed by Hamas, had organizational ties to the governmental faction. It's not just a terrorist cell. It's an entire government. They're flattening. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Flatten Gaza. Take it all over. Take every piece of it. That's the whole point. You're supposed to win this war. Israel did not start this war, but they're going to finish it. They have the might. They have the power. They have the upper hand. They may have been, they may have sustained serious losses with over 1,250 people killed and 250 hostages taken. However, they're still a strong military. They're still a mighty force for good in the world, and they deserve to be applauded for their efforts. They deserve to have every ounce of support and aid brought to them, given to them. And that's the beauty of the Israeli Defense Forces. Now, I'm going to try to do something interesting today. I will only start comments once I see Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. If you need that on the screen, I'll put them up there. Salute, Black Cuddy. That's the only person I'm going to say. He's the first one. But after that, nobody's getting it. So I'm going to put it up there. If you want your comment or question answered, your comment to be stated or your question answered, it's going to have to go through these various channels. I'm just putting them in now. So salute to Black Cuddy. He's the first one and he's the only one. That was my bingo free space. Everybody else, you're going to have to pay up. I don't care if we go down to 0 viewers. Also in this episode, I'm going to be talking about Spike Lee's latest reimagining of the great Japanese director Akira Kurosawa's High to Low. It's now highest to lowest. And Spike Lee's joint, as he is made. I'll tell you what I thought about it, what I considered it as. I've never seen Kurosawa's original film, High to Low. I've watched Seven Samurai. I've seen a few other things, I think, by Kurosawa, but especially that. He was one of the great leading directors of all time, So, but we'll get to that. But I just want to get to Israel. Israel is doing the goddamn thing. They are supposed to destroy. It is supposed to be destruction, chaos, and complete just tearing up and making war hell as much as possible. That's the whole point. Anything else is superfluous. Oh, they handed out humanitarian aid. Oh, they allowed the trucks to go through. Okay, that is not necessarily good for war. War is all about destruction and disturbance and upsetting and making sure you have as least casualties on your side as the other. I've already gone into the William Tecumseh Sherman spiel, but that's the whole point about Israel. Israel is to strike Gaza, flatten it, and then rebuild under the Israeli flag. That is the whole point. That is the whole ideal. That's what makes everything, seem rational. Is the fact that if they have a clear-cut idea of what they're doing, then they can go on with their lives. They can go on with living. That's the whole point. I think that's one of the ideals of Israeli life is to embrace life, to enjoy it, to be happy and joyous and be happy in your industry. Be proud of your work. Be proud of your family. Be proud of your life. Be selfish. Be good. All those things tie into each other. And to have people that go in and say that there's only so many people that can be on Israel's side. I might as well go to the Palestinian side or the Gazan side. That's a mistake. That's a total mistake. It's a fatal error. Actually, it's worse than a mistake. It's a fatal error, because what you're doing is you're not giving it enough time to say whether Israel is going to respond with might and strength, and show how, United States of America, you have Trump want to call it the Department of War. I said this before I even looked at it on the news. Again, before I read a few articles, and nobody was saying it too much, that he wants to go on the offensive, which is scary in a lot of ways, because he wants to bomb, boats that have drugs on them, which is completely inept and stupid and obtuse. That is very wrong to do. Drugs aren't the problem. The people that use them aren't the problem. The people that aren't selling them aren't the problem. The problem is the fact that we don't have a rehab center on every corner in this United States of America. We have a liquor store. And before it was liquor stores, they had speakeasies because they couldn't have liquor stores. But then when it was changed over where you could only have a liquor store instead of a speakeasy, that changed, the entire landscape of a lot of cities and towns and states. There are remaining what is it called? What do they call it? Dry states. Excuse me. Dry cities and dry states that don't have alcohol whatsoever. Don't have a drop. It still goes on to this day from Prohibition in the 20s and 30s, 1920s and 1930s. So it is a challenge that we have Israel being, this shining example of what a country should be: robust, strong, dedicated to the mission, seeking only to destroy the amount of people that need to be destroyed. If that happens to be civilians, The blood is not on Israel's hands. They were attacked first. The blood is not on Israel's hands. So every bombing, every missile strike, everything that has to do with deteriorating the Hamas approach, that is key. And it just so happens that civilians are going to get hit. Civilians are going to die. Little babies, 0 months to 6 months to 5 years and 8 years, 10 years old children are going to be killed. I'm okay with that. Little kids can die. They have to show, because either their little kids or our little kids. And I'm picking our little kids that live. People that are allies to Israel. And Israel. Their kids, Israel's kids or Gazans' kids, or the people that support Hamas in Gaza. I mean, it just gives you a perspective of what it means to be a true Israeli. Now you can argue, they're for Zionism, they're mystified, they're mystical. Yes, that to an extent that's true, but the secular vision of Israel is so pristine. You can be anything. You don't have to. You can be an atheist. You can be an agnostic. You can be a skeptic. You can be so many things in Israel. Try doing that in the surrounding places that border Israel. Mainly autocrats and dictators and totalitarianists. I guess you would say that is. They had the audacity to show just what it means to be to be within the ideal of an onslaught. They're showing that there's an onslaught, there's an assault on, it was an assault on Israel back in 2022, I think it was, or 23. Was it 23 or 22? I'm trying to get my dates together. I think it was 23. Yeah. 2023, October 7th, 2023. So that, really managed to manifest itself throughout the channels. I'm gonna go to another video.
Israeli forces tonight are bombing Gaza City, where up to 1 million Palestinians are living and, according to the UN, are starving as well. We've blurred the body of a boy crushed under the rubble, and conditions here could soon get far worse. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government is calling up 60,000 reservists for a ground assault on the city. Tonight, Netanyahu said the attack plan remains a go, but he is facing increasing opposition at home. Weekly protests have grown from a few thousand participants to several 100,000 2 weeks ago. Gil Dickman's cousin Carmel was executed by Hamas a year ago. He accuses Netanyahu of refusing a ceasefire deal that he believes could have saved her.
And people are starting to realize the moral price of this war going on forever and ever and ever.
The moral price for Israelis.
The moral price for Israelis,
Jews.
the moral price for Jews.
Dickman and other demonstrators accuse Netanyahu of wanting the war to continue so the prime minister can escape corruption charges.
Why do you think he would want, as you say, an endless forever war?
I think it's his own political purposes. That's the only thing on his mind. He's facing a trial here in Israel, and he wants to keep himself safe.
As for Gaza's future, President Trump has proposed turning Gaza, which is on the Mediterranean, into a new Riviera and posted this AI rendition. The plan is apparently still active, according to the Washington Post.
The Washington Post reports the Trump administration has discussed a 38-page plan to move all 2 million Palestinians from the Gaza Strip and compensate them with $5,000 and digital tokens for their land. A senior Arab official told NBC News the idea is, quote, insane. The administration did not respond to our request for comment.
All right, welcome back to your news here at 6 o'clock. So Israel hit a high-rise building in Gaza City today as part of their stepped-up operations to gain control of Gaza City. The Israeli military had given an evacuation warning prior to the attack. The building collapsed into a cloud of smoke after the strike. It was not immediately clear if anyone was wounded or killed in the blast. Israel says Hamas was using that building and other high rises for surveillance and planned ambushes. Israel said it would carry out more, quote, precise targeted strikes in the coming days. And Hamas releasing video today of 2 hostages who they've held in Gaza for 700 days. 24-year-old Guy Gilboa Dalal and 22-year-old Alan Ohel, as seen in a car driving into Gaza City. Gilboa Dalal was last seen in the video published by Hamas during a ceasefire in February when the terrorist group forced him to watch the release of another hostage. The family of Ohel asked for his image in the video to not be shown. In the clip, both hostages asked to be returned to their families.
In the strike with Israel, it appeared as though it was like just a memory from 9/11, September 11, 2001. But this was a good thing. That was a horrific, troubling, terrible thing that happened to the United States on September 11th. But it just reminded me of it, the way it crumbled in the dust and debris. It just reminded me of that. So that's the case with that. We have to, just take into all that into account, and say Israel has to win. There's no question about it. It has to win. It has to be the victor. There's no question about it. They have to win. There's no room for any, dilly-dallying or pussyfooting or, going back and forth and oscillating. And it has to be direct, complete, and utter destruction of not only Hamas, but anyone who goes against Israel in any way. They have to be destroyed. They must be destroyed. In most ways, I should say. If you're quote unquote protesting, you have the right to say what you have to say. But I just think it's amazing how people look down on Israel when they're the most free country in a wasteland, and it's a beacon of hope to thousands, if not millions, of people who have journeyed there or who have lived there all their lives. It's just despicable of our governments, including Trump and Netanyahu, who have not been able to just say, look, we're going to flatten Gaza. We're going to completely take them out. There's no way we're going to continue to let them be. There's no way we can continue to let them be in the same position that they were prior to October 7th and after October 7th. We will level you. We will destroy you. We will, like I always say, you can destroy your enemy's capacity to make war, but what's more important is to crush their soul of battle, their whole entire framework, their entire idealism for wanting to fight. You have to just crush that. You have to destroy it. You have to bring it to its knees and show that you are the moral case. You are the moral and righteous one. Okay, let's get to this. A little bit of a shift here, but thought it was interesting.
In a special edition of Talk of the Table.
Very special. Who's
That's
here,
right.
Nate?
Oscar-winning director and producer Spike Lee is here in the building to talk about his new film, Highest to Lowest. Powerhouse actor Denzel Washington plays David King,
No
music
relation.
mogul, no relation, trying to reinvent his career when his son is targeted for kidnapping. But when it turns out that the kidnappers actually grabbed the chauffeur's son, King must decide if he's willing to abandon his dreams to save someone else's child. In this clip, he is trying to negotiate with the kidnapper played by A$AP Rocky. Love this movie. Spike Lee, good morning. How are you doing?
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
We're in New York.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Shout out to all the Spanish folks out there. So this film marks the 5th time that you and Denzel have worked together.
Mo Better.
Mo Better.
Do the right. No. Mo Better, Malcolm X.
Mo Better, Malcolm X, of course.
Game.
Inside Job.
Man.
right?
That was 19 years ago.
19 years ago.
Did you know it had been 19 years?
Denzel and I did not know that until journalists pointed it out.
What was it like to work with him again?
We didn't miss a step.
Yeah.
I see.
No. So Denzel told me, he said, Spike, our relationship is about love and trust. Those two words. He said, you can switch if you want to.
You put the love first. About love.
I you know, I have a thing called dyslipia.
What is that?
Stuff be slipping.
Oh.
Not dyslexia.
Yeah.
So dyslipia goes around in Brooklyn.
But
Dyslipia.
that love and trust allows you to give Denzel the runway he needs to just do him, right?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What did Phil Jackson do with Michael?
You let him go. And Denzel's one of the GOATs.
And I've said this many times, you know, doing press for this film, that I think that, in my opinion, Denzel's the greatest actor living today.
I agree.
Now, Martin Scorsese's going to say De Niro.
Yeah.
And the late, great Sidney Lumet would say Pacino.
Pacino, yeah.
And France would say Brando.
Uh-huh.
But it's not on the level of this GOAT thing between Mike and LeBron. That's, I mean, I'm tired of that.
Right.
Yeah, it's not really a competition, but Denzel is certainly one of the greats. But I love the cast that you put together. Jeffrey Wright, which, by the way, guys, that's Jeffrey Wright's real son.
Oh,
I didn't know that. That's Jeffrey Wright's real son who plays
His real son.
His real son, Jeffrey Wright. And A$AP Rocky, what made you think A$AP Rocky in this role?
Well, Tanya, my wife.
That would be your lovely wife. She's a badass
She
filmmaker.
produced the film he was in.
Uh-huh.
But even then, people were saying that he looks like Denzel's son.
You talking about Dope?
Yeah, Dope. There you go.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Come on.
You saved me. Tanya, you know, anyway, Dope.
I watch everything y'all do.
I owe you. But we brought him in, and he's so multi-talented. Another thing that I like to say is that Denzel's so powerful. If you don't bring it, you're gonna get be like wah wah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody else steps their game up.
Yes, but A$AP Rocky was like, yo, I know that's D, but
yeah.
But
I don't want to say, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
But Spike, it was vintage. Denzel was also.
I'm gonna stop her right there. First of all, it's not Denzel, it's Denzel or Denzel. I think he pronounces it just like Rihanna. Rihanna doesn't pronounce it. Her real name is Rihanna. It's Denzel Washington, but that's just another thing. I think it's Denzel, something like that. He said his name has always been, you know, mispronounced. I might be mispronouncing it right now. But yeah, so this movie was, you know, I will give it a grade A-. It was especially for a Spike Lee movie. It was a great homage and a great, you know, love letter to New York City, the Midtown Manhattan, to the Bronx, to Brooklyn, you know, to different locations across the city. Yeah, the Puerto Rican Day. I guess it was a Puerto Rican Day festival. I don't know if it was a parade. It was a festival or something like that. They had, you know, the basic outline of the idea from, like I said, Kurosawa. And Spike has indulgences that if you're not attuned to his movies, they're kind of off-putting. He has a lot of artwork and sculpture in his movies. I think that's cool. I think that's really neat how he was one of the first people that I heard about film. Film is like the ultimate art form because it combines so many other of the arts. You can showcase paintings. You can showcase art, sculpture. You can have music. There's the art of the performance, the writing, the directing, the producing. All this coalesces into a complete whole, and you're able to view the movie, you know, as a complete picture. The acting was decent. This isn't Denzel's or Denzel's. I'm just gonna say Denzel. I'm just gonna continue to say Denzel. This isn't Denzel's, you know, finest hour. but he's one of the greatest. He's still one of the greatest. This is a strong showing. He didn't hit a grand slam, but he hit a homer, I guess you can say. Just a one hit homer off the bat. So Spike this is his home run. He was able to corral all these different voices and actors and different cityscapes and dialogue and just spectacle. So I did appreciate it. Let's continue.
I've adopted that. It's my signature, but I didn't make that up. But here's the thing, though. When you have an actor like Denzel, it's a blessing.
There is a dolly shot in the movie. I don't know if you remembered it, but there's one of the police, one of the law enforcement officials. I would say it's still a dolly shot, even though it's not like the extended dolly shot. He's still talking straight into the camera, and he's moving forward. So I guess is consistent with the definition of a dolly shot. So that's what I was saying. Is a dolly shot, one of Spike Lee's trademarks. I think it's kind of corny. I don't really like his dolly shots. And he hits everything on the nose. He knows it. I guess he does it on purpose. There's another commentator that said that, there's some subtlety there, Spike. He said, subtlety. Wow, that's the first time I heard somebody say subtlety about one of my movies. Because he just everything is so much in your face and obvious, and I think he does that for effect. Like they get into the car. The soundtrack is playing James Brown, the Big Payback, when they're going the chauffeur and Jeffrey Wright and Denzel Washington characters are going after the kidnapper. So I mean, it's just really on the nose, really obvious. He doesn't take too much subtlety, but I think he does it on purpose. I think he's just in your face and just, wants to be blatant and just, continue on with that idea.
And there's a lot of stuff he came up with. There's a scene where the prop guy, Anthony DeMeo, he puts a grenade on the desk.
Yes.
He picks it up and makes the whole thing.
That wasn't scripted?
No. Then when he's talking about, what'd you do, Aretha? What'd you do, James? What'd you do with Jimmy?
He did that? Wow.
Improv. And then the recording studio.
Nah, don't.
I'm telling you, there's a script.
Don't say.
Hey,
now people said already. They know about it. There was one. Well, there's a script. Let's just say I'm the director. I got the script here, the scene, and Denzel starts rapping.
Start freestyling?
Nas. Automatic.
I thought that was scripted.
No.
I did too.
No.
What?
And also give credit. ASAP. He didn't say, Spike, that's not the script. No, he kept in it. And then and that's why ASAP says in the scene, is this a rap battle?
Was a rap battle or something? Oh, you rapping?
That was Denzel. Wow. He didn't tell me.
But we're talking about
He didn't tell me.
anniversary. We're talking about anniversaries.
Yeah, well, we got you.
Yeah, because you were talking about you and Denzel 19.
Well, we
there's
got
a big day today.
Katrina anniversary.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was 20 years today. I got
20
here.
years
You
right
didn't
now.
know that?
Water is amazing.
And you've got now 3 documentaries you've made about it. You got a 3-part one that's on Netflix right now. It's #1 on Netflix as of this morning, by the way.
Did you know that?
Very well. What are you hoping people take away from this?
Not that much has changed. If you look at the African-American population of New Orleans,
there are a few filmmakers alive that can boast a resume as impressive as Spike Lee's. Over his 40-year career, the Brooklyn native has made landmark films like Do the Right Thing and Malcolm X. In his latest, Highest to Lowest, streaming now on Apple TV+, the Oscar winner returns to his New York roots with a thriller starring Denzel Washington. It's Lee's 5th collaboration with Washington, and as Adriana Diaz shows us, their partnership is as powerful as ever.
And the hard times will come from the good times. The hard times will come from success. The hard times will come from the money, and the mayhem follows.
In Highest to Lowest, Denzel Washington plays David King, a music mogul with the best ears in the business, facing a life or death dilemma.
Somebody's kidnapped our son.
How did the script come to you?
Denzel called me up. He said, yo, it's D. I got something here. Before I put the phone in the cradle, I knew I was doing it. I don't even know what it was.
There's a struggle to do the right thing, right? Why did you want to? Why did you want to explore this?
It's something I've done in other films. There's a thing about morality, scruples, but never where it's the basis of the film. So they're asking themselves, what would they do if they were in the position that David King is?
What would you do, Spike? Would you give it all up for a friend's son?
Who's the friend?
Would you give it all up for a Knicks championship?
Hell yeah.
We met Lee on a summer day in Brooklyn, the setting of many of his films, like 1989's Do the Right Thing, a movie that revealed the complex inner workings of a single Brooklyn block.
Come on, what? Always do the right thing.
That signature early film, and now his latest, are proudly displayed outside his production company, named 40 Acres and a Mule Filmworks, where the director was in director mode.
Now, what everybody back there, what are you doing? Except for the operator.
Surrounded by Lee's prized memorabilia, including of his beloved Knicks, he told us about the partnership that's defined his career.
To me, he's the greatest living actor.
All right, listen, God give you everything you want, right? No, God give you everything you need. So the question,
when you're directing,
he never mentions, I don't know if it's on purpose.
saying I'm God.
He has a green light. You know basketball?
Spike never mentions Daniel Day-Lewis, who is in fact the greatest living actor right now. Daniel Day-Lewis. If you need any help, go to My Left Foot. Go to There Will Be Blood. Go to Phantom Thread. Jesus, just Spike is Denzel. I think it's Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington. He is just, an excellent actor. He is not like mediocre. He's not awful. He's great. He's excellent. But Daniel Day-Lewis has got him by a few yards. He's got him by a few yards. And it shows in his film choices as well. For a while there, Denzel Washington's role was to help out young white men on their journey. He wasn't really the magical Negro, but he was more like just an aide. But I'm not knocking him because he got paid for it. He got his money for it. But for the most part, he was helping out white boys. On Training Day, started that, I think. Even though he, in the character, he doesn't really help him out, but there's a symbiosis, there's a synergy, there's a connection with the black man and the white boy, the young white man. Then there's Unstoppable. He's helping out a white. He's a grizzled old. I think he's an engineer or a conductor or something like that on a train, and he's helping out the white man. Then he goes on Flight. He's helping out the young white man. I don't know why these roles can't be by black men. Do they not believe in the fact that one black man cannot help another black man? I don't understand that. I don't get it. Maybe it's not for me to get, but I just little things that I noticed. And Dean's messing it up. Denzel Washington's career. But I think this is a strong point for him because I like the fact that it's upscale. It's not in the gutter. It's not about. The main focus is based on his character, David King, and he's not a bum. He's not a crack addict. He's not, a unscrupulous doctor or, a low rent, robber or anything like that. He's a successful, or was once a very successful music mogul. And he has enough assets, to back it up. He has enough, dollars. He's got the family. He's got a wife and a son. They're all together. I mean, it just shows you that this is possible. A man of color can achieve great status in America, can have a family to back it up. So I just thought that was interesting.
Well,
enough.
Did Michael Jordan have the green light?
Yeah, he had every light.
Thank you. Well, that's what I'm talking about. That level, for the most part, he's locked in. And I'm Phil Jackson. All right, Mike. Mike, what's the play? Timeout. Mike, what's the play? What are we doing?
I got the 4-pounder sitting right here. Don't try nothing funny.
Rap battle?
Is this a battle right now?
That scene was not scripted. This is a brilliant power move by Denzel, which elevated the scene, which elevated the whole film.
Highest to Lowest is their 5th collaboration after 1990's Mo Better Blues, the seminal Malcolm X, the basketball drama He Got Game, and the bank heist thriller Inside Man.
I promise you, God is my witness.
Inside Man was 19 years ago, and when we got together on this film, it was like Inside Man had just wrapped.
Really?
Yes.
After almost 20 years? You can't tell me there were no cobwebs. You had to kind of find each other again?
No. It's basic. Love and trust. So we didn't have to go through getting to know you.
Getting to know all about.
We didn't have to do that. There was no singing, it was dancing. Basic. Love. Boom. That's all it was.
No, man, come on now.
When the Highest to Lowest script got to Lee, he was already familiar with what inspired it. The 1963 Japanese film High and Low by renowned filmmaker Akira Kurosawa, who Lee has admired since he was a graduate film student at NYU. Kurosawa's film Rashomon inspired Lee's first feature, She's Gotta Have It.
I never know I'm here. You're right, I'll never know.
Kurosawa's film High and Low is a gripping police procedural about a mistaken identity kidnapping that stems from economic inequalities in post-World War II Japan.
To make it clear.
Why?
I don't want people going thinking that there's a remake and, we're not paying attention or respecting the greatness of Kurosawa.
So he signed that poster?
I like to say this. Spike Lee has a wealth of information according to a volume of information according to filmic studies and various cinematographers, directors, editors. He has a clear and distinct understanding of that. What's sad is he doesn't follow all the different ways of how to convey a film. Some of his films are really clumsy, really, they're hit or miss. He'll have a great, it has a terrible ending and a terrible theme, but Do the Right Thing is his masterpiece. Malcolm X is his masterpiece. He has at least 2 masterpieces. I would say his third masterpiece is Bamboozled. That came to me in a time in my life where it just opened up my eyes to so many truths and reality. And he in the way he does media, he uses digital cameras for Bamboozled and Red Hook Summer. He uses high quality, cameras for highest to lowest and different things like that. So I do respect him on that level, but I do have to admonish him for not always living up to the standards, not of other people, but his own standard, his own aesthetic. It's not quite there. Like I said, he's very on the nose. He's very obvious. It's very expected, and I really hate that dolly shot. I think that's why he kind of lowered it. He didn't do it to great effect this outing, but I can definitely respect his grind. I can respect his hustle. It's been a long time since I left you without a dope beat to step. No, I'm just kidding. Spike was the guy. He was the guy that inspired me. He was the first one, because at that point I was very racist. I was like, oh, well, I got to find someone that looks like me. I'm not going to be in directing, because that's the thing. When I was 11 years old, I used to watch award shows, and they would always say, it's the writing, it's the writing. It's because of the writing. And so I was like, writing for what? How do you write a TV show or a movie? They're written? Like, people aren't just like, you think that, like Wizard of Oz, you think they're real people. You think it's a real thing. Like, it's part of life. Then you get a little older and you say, well, no, they're actors. And then you say, well, how do they act? What do they have to go on? Oh, they have to go on a script. And so they use a script to navigate the material. And sometimes they go off script, as Spike is pointed out with Mr. Washington's character. But for the most part, there's a specific script that is at the crux of each production. So I would say that, with the advent of various media, he has I think he is he's a top ranked director, despite his indulgences. I mean, he has the Knicks stuff everywhere. He's talking about the Yankees. It's like, it's kind of distracting a little bit in a way. It's a little bit of, it's kind of jarring. You're like, you're looking at it and you're like, what is he saying this all for? What is he doing on this? He loves his beloved Knicks. He loves his city in New York and New York City. But that's what his it's either his gift or his curse. That's to put it lightly.
It's not a poster, it's a portrait.
I'm sorry. He signed that portrait?
Yes. He signed it with a paintbrush with white ink. To Dear Spike, Akira Kurosawa.
Was this portrait inspiration while you're working on this?
Oh, yeah,
film?
in the editing room.
You had this in the editing room?
Yeah. It was in a position where he's looking down upon us.
Lee's career was inspired by movie nights as a child.
My mother was a cinephile. My father hated movies. So I'm the eldest, so I was my mother's movie date.
That's sweet.
You gotta look at the camera up there.
You've been at this for almost 4 decades.
I wanted to say, I wanted to become a director when I was 14 years old. I saw Spike Lee. There was a plethora of films. One was Do the Right Thing. Another was Pulp Fiction. Another one was Requiem for a Dream. Another one was a documentary on Jacques Derrida. It just all came together, so I appreciated it.
Woo, Lord. Next year will be the 40th anniversary that she's gonna have it.
How do you do it? How do you continue to stay relevant?
Well, if I may say this, my sister, the word for me is not relevant. What drives me?
Mm-hmm.
What drives me is I'm doing what I love. So it's going to be 4 decades doing what I love. And I don't take that for granted either.
For CBS Saturday Morning, Adriana Diaz, Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, so it's Spike Lee. Highest to lowest, A-. I mean, this is probably his, I say it's one of his strongest films because it's about her heroism, it's about morality, it's about ethics. I mean, at the forefront, it just gives you a great idealism of what would you do in those circumstances. I think it's very simple. You would obviously give up the money. You would obviously give up the money. It wouldn't be even an issue. Give up the money for the person. The human life is more, valuable than money. And the mix up, the confusion. That was like a twist, kind of in the plot. The confusion of the two young men. I thought that was well executed, and a great homage to Mr. Kurosawa, the late great Mr. Kurosawa. So, rock and power to Mr. Kurosawa. So, it is very powerful and great that he made this film. Like I said, it's shot beautifully. It's great cinematography, great music, great act. Very good and great acting. Jeffrey Wright plays his position role. I think he might be the strongest actor in the film. Jeffrey Wright's character is probably the strongest actor, even over Denzel. Denzel, like I said, he plays well, but it's like, remember when Jordan passed to Kerr and Kerr hit that 3-pointer, to help win the 5th championship for the Chicago Bulls in the 90s. That was what this movie was about, really. It was like Denzel knew he's the man, and he knows he's the man, and he just wanted to go ahead, do your thing, young man. Go ahead, Jeffrey Wright. Go ahead, ASAP Rakim Mayers is his name. So I like the movie. I suggest you watch it, and I will see you sometime tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.